Okay, so we are going to discuss how to set up your pre-lab for the physical and chemical change lab. Alright, so the first part is the problem. So our problem here is, what are the signs of a chemical change versus a physical change? How do we tell the difference between a chemical change and a physical change? So for your purpose, you could turn this into a statement, or it can be written as a question. And then for your hypothesis, think about what your independent variable is. What are you changing in this lab? And as a result of that, what are you observing because of the changes that you are making? And then what is your background information? So we're going to be conducting a lot of tests. We're going to see evidence of a chemical or physical change, and we can tell the difference between a chemical or physical based on the signs of a chemical and physical change, and that's our background information. So try your hypothesis, and we can look over it together if you'd like. The next part are the materials and procedure. This lab is going to be set up a little different. You're going to be going around to approximately 10 stations. Each station is going to have its own materials and procedure that you could just summarize. So for right now, you'll just need to make a blank table that has room for about 10 tests and then room to write in your materials and procedure for each station, which you'll do during the lab. Then the data and analysis, again, need to be in table form. Here you're going to, again, need room for 10 observations or 10 tests, room to write down your observations of each test. You need to decide whether or not a physical or chemical change took place, and keep in mind that some tests can have both a chemical and a physical change. And then you need to cite your reason or evidence for each change and be very specific. So relate it back especially to the signs of a chemical change. So then, once you've conducted the lab, you'll need to write your conclusion and abstract. So for the conclusion, again, it's 3 paragraphs. Your first paragraph should include the purpose, the procedure, a summary of it, very general since each station had its own procedure. Was your hypothesis supported or not? And a few examples or some results to support your statement about your hypothesis. For the second paragraph, include any error, but no human error. So besides human, was there anything in the lab that could have caused some error? And if you can't think of any error, then for this particular lab, that would be okay too. For the third paragraph, you need to discuss the chemistry concept. So talk about the difference between physical and chemical properties and physical and chemical changes and how you would identify each of them. The last part you're going to need to complete is the abstract, which remember actually goes first in your lab, but you're going to do it last because it's a summary. So you'll need to restate your purpose, briefly summarize your procedure, again, restate your hypothesis, was your hypothesis supported, and how do you know? And then just list any major errors that could have affected your results. So again, just like a paragraph summary of your lab. Alright, so we'll be checking this pre-lab before you can conduct the actual lab. And then once you're done, remember that you also need to include the self-evaluation. You're going to highlight or do a self-grade on each section and attach it as an additional document in Edmodo when you turn in your lab. And if you can't find the rubric, it's found in the general information folder. All right, have a good day.